So I'm gonna let you know because where I'm at in my room, I'm not gonna have no clothes around me.
And I'll go ahead and we
I'm gonna be
start.
in my I'm gonna be in my room doing it because I got bad connection downstairs.
Okay. So the music may end up pausing us. So let's go ahead and I'll start the music and everything to start us all up. All right.
Okay, I'm about
All
to.
right. Here we go. All right. And it's just me right now. Let's take this off real fast. Boom. Hey, what's going on? We're back at it again. We're back at it again. I've got the pleasure to actually introduce to you this young lady who I've worked with on some photography projects, and she also is a designer. She's a model. She's a first sergeant. She's a medical NCO. She's a jack of all trades, and she has mastered quite a few of them as well. Um, one of the more talented people that I've met here in San Antonio. I had the pleasure of meeting her actually the first time in Germany last year when I was living there. Um, and we got a chance to do a photo shoot. It was a impromptu, quick photo shoot thing, and we made it happen. We knocked it out. Her photos were dope, and so that gave me the inspiration of okay, I got to work with her again sometime. And so we actually had the chance to work again, and that was pretty awesome doing that photo shoot with her. And I think I may actually get a chance to, I think I'm going to try to upload some of those photos, those recent photos that we did. But anyways, let's go into talking about her. Her name's Antoinette Francois, Haitian, Haitian lady. I'm Trinidadian, and I always get mistaken for being called Haitian because my last name, and so I take a lot of pride in that as well. Um, let's see. She joined the military in 2004. She uh, took up designing because she was tired of buying clothes. She wanted to make her own stuff, and so she made it happen with taking a hobby and making it a profitable sort of business now. And so she's going to come and talk to us about a few things going on with her. I'm going to upload some of the photos that we did recently, photo shoot wise, and she's going to talk with us. So y'all, welcome, 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 the one, the only Antoinette Francois. Here we go. Hey, Antoinette, let's unmute your mic. There you go. How you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing good, doing good, doing good. How is everything today? We got a few people checking out our show today.
A little busy. Still making masks.
Mm-hmm. Still
So keeping
making
myself
what?
busy. Mask,
Oh yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah. You've been making a
protect
lot of
yourself.
those. You've been making a lot of those. How is that going?
Busy. So we donated over 100. Um, yeah, over 100. And then, but I had people asking me for masks, like for children. And I was like, no, it's only for first responders. So
Mm-hmm.
after I did a certain amount for first responders, they was like, well, I'll buy it. I'll buy it. So I completely depleted all my stuff I had in the house that I could make masks out of. And once
Wow.
I did that and had to replenish, that's when I said, okay, now for the people that wanted to actually buy one, um, they can buy one now. But I had to make sure I get to those first responders first.
Wow. Wow. How is that? How is what made you decide, hey, I'm going to start making some masks for the first responders? What inspired that?
So I heard about the shortage.
Mm-hmm.
of masks everywhere. And
Mm-hmm.
then I went to Joann's.com because I was actually looking for fabric to make some pants. So
Mm-hmm.
when I went on there, that's when I saw that there was a shortage nationwide for masks.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Joann's was giving out the free patterns for it. So I was like, hmm. So I didn't have like tracing paper. I didn't have all of that. So I actually took a piece of plastic, cut it out, and put it on my computer screen to
Mm-hmm.
make a pattern for it. So I was like, let me test this out. And I was actually on video cam with my cousin in New York doing it. And I was like, I don't know how I do this. Okay, let's figure it out. Let's figure it out. And I
Mm-hmm.
made one mask and I was like, okay, I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
So I went through all my fabric and I started looking for all my scraps. So I have scraps that it's not big enough to throw away.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, no, it's not small enough, excuse me, to throw away. But I was like, I could do something with this later. So I had scraps like her saved from Germany also.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
took all those scraps and I just started cutting them into the shapes of masks. And I started on a Thursday night and went to like the next Wednesday. And that's when we came up with over 100. And I think I posted on my Facebook, like, anybody want to help me? And
Mm-hmm.
some of the girls came to the rescue and helped out for a good cause. And I
So,
appreciate that.
socially distancing, of course, with the help, right?
Yeah, so the ironing board was 6 feet
It,
behind me,
mm-hmm.
and the cutter was 6 feet to the right of me.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
and then you gotta kind of make sure you know your circle.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know they go out there disobeying stuff, they in this store, no mask, doing this, then I'm like, yeah, don't come to, because let me check your breathing. Let me see if it's shallow. I gotta check all of that. Let me, I need to see all of that. Have a phone conversation with me first to see if your breathing is a little, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it worked out well. Good cause.
Okay, so you were a 91 whiskey, right? You were 68.
No.
Did you just
I,
transition to 68 or what did you do?
so when I came in, I was a 91 kilo lab tech. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
whole lab tech artist. So I was a 91 kilo, and then it went over to the 68 series. So I am still a 68 kilo
Okay,
medical lab
lab tech.
technician. Yes,
Okay. So you're talented. You're multifaceted. You're doing the military thing, which is admirable. How
I,
many years you been
I
in?
love it. It'll be 16 in June.
16 years, military thing. You're doing fashion.
Hmm.
You're knocking that out of the park. You're doing modeling because we've worked together.
If you want to call it that.
No, give yourself some credit. Give yourself some credit. I think you're doing very well with it.
Well, thank
Um,
you.
okay. And obviously with the military thing now, you're what rank are you right now?
I'm a first sergeant.
Ooh, Lord, tell me about that. How do you balance all those three things?
I love it. I love the military.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have some awesome soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so this is like that. When I was in Germany, I was actually a detachment sergeant, which
Mm-hmm.
is a sergeant first class position, E7. Um, you're the first sergeant, really. You're doing
Mm-hmm.
everything a first sergeant do. And I happen to have an HHC, and that job taught me so much. When I say so much, the highs, the lows. It was
Mm-hmm.
nights. There were tears in my eyes. There was times
Mm-hmm.
I was smiling. There was times you just want to hug your soldier, but you don't want to. You can't hug them because they don't want you. You don't want them to think you my favorite, because every soldier was my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that taught me how to definitely be that detachment sergeant position taught me how to be a first sergeant,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. So when I got into this position, I already knew. I looked and I assessed things and I looked at things, see how they were working already in the organization,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I already knew what worked before.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we all know as a leader, it may work here, but it may not work there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you do your assessment and you look at things. And when I got here, I was like, there's no system in place for that.
Yeah.
That'll fix that. How y'all do that?
Uh-huh.
It works for you? Yeah, it works real well. First sergeant. I'm like, okay, let's leave it until that person leaves for 2-3 days and it no longer works. It only worked for that one person. And when
Mm-hmm.
I saw that, I was like, yeah, we need a system that works for everyone. So anybody should be able to come in here, pick up this job, and do it by reading this SOP. So um, I absolutely love my job. I love my soldiers. I love it.
All right. Would you say there are some skill sets that you have as a first sergeant that you've transferred into your business life? What are some of those skill sets that you say you've transferred?
Structure and systems.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was a detachment sergeant in Germany, I didn't know what was important. Like
Mm-hmm.
to me, everything in that job was so important. Everything. And I didn't know how to prioritize.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have my to-do list, and I was so used to the type of soldier. If I make a to-do list, I'm not leaving work till I get to the end and check off the last thing, scratch it off.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had 10 things to do, I'm leaving when 10 things are done. Point blank, period. Um, and each one of them was as important as the other.
Yeah.
And then when I became a detachment sergeant, um, I would go with a to-do list, my 10 things, but by the time I want to say 0900, I added
Mm-hmm.
10 more things, and then I didn't know how to prioritize. So I was like
Mm-hmm.
all over the place. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember it was times I would forget to eat, I would forget to sleep, like
Yeah.
because I was always um I always been taught I taught myself to always finish what you start, and it was impossible for me to do. So
Okay.
I had to prioritize, and you can't say no on that job. Do this, no. Do this, no. You kind of make it happen. You make it happen. Some stuff you can say no.
Yeah.
You can't, right? So someone is trying to call me at this very moment, and I have to
It's all
answer.
right. It's all right.
I have to clap. Mo, watch this, and you can talk to me. So, so, so I had to prioritize. So when I started sewing and making clothes, I was sewing every single day, every day. Now,
Mm-hmm.
on top of that, I was in, Germany being a whole soldier and sewing.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have people not come to my door every day to get measurements, get something made, do pickup,
Mm-hmm.
pick fabric. If it wasn't one thing, it wasn't another. And I was like, I never had no time off for me. So what I had to do was learn how to put a system in place and prioritize,
Mm-hmm.
and check people and see when they dates, when they're available, like
Mm-hmm.
when do you need this, when do you need that? And that's what I had to do. And so I can say that structure helped me on the clothing side from the military side.
I got you. I got you. Now, we recently did a photo shoot and we got some crazy good reviews and raves and all that stuff about it. Would you mind if I shared some of the recent photos that we took? Wait, I can hear you. Where's your mic at?
Can you
Yeah, I
I
can
think
hear
it
you.
went out.
I
Can you
can
hear
hear
me
you.
now?
I can hear you
Okay.
just fine. Yeah,
Okay.
did you hear my request?
You asked about the clothing. Did you want to share it?
Yeah, can I share some of the photos that we took?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to transfer from a dual screen to a singular screen, and I'll leave your mic on that you can still you could still talk and all that different stuff. So let me upload some of these photos because I wanna show the people the talent that I'm talking to, right? Just show them exactly what you got going on. And I think you're one of the two more talented is the word seamstress, is that the correct terminology?
You know what, Otis? I've been told to embrace what I am. Like I would tell people like, when did you decide to become a designer? I was like, I'm not a designer. I am a 68 kilo medical lab technician. Whore. And that's what I always said, right? I'm a
Uh-huh.
soldier
Uh-huh.
because I'm gonna tell you, and I tell people this, I'm a soldier first, number one. And it's the whole reason why I say that. Um, and it's because I love it. But at the same time, people are like, embrace it, embrace it. And her
Mhm.
name Ryan Smith. Ryan Smith told me to embrace being a designer. And I was like, it's embraced.
You talking
So
about tall Ryan from Germany?
for Ryan Smith, the one for Black Fashion Week San Antonio.
Oh, I know Ryan. I know Ryan. Yes, yes, yes. I know her. I know her. She
Yes.
okay. So let me upload this photo here real fast, and you're going to talk to us about what we see. Okay. So
Okay.
here we go.
I'm ready.
It's not that crazy. I promise you. I promise you. Here we go. Talk to us about this. Talk to us about this photo right here.
So I've been into doing palazzo pants or wide leg pants for
Mm-hmm.
this season. So I try to change it up every season.
Mm-hmm.
And the wide leg palazzo pants inspired me for the spring, summer. Very
Mm-hmm.
flowy. And we know it's in San Antonio, it can be hot.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking about air. I want as much air to touch my body, and I want to be kissed by the sun. So that this outfit right here inspired that. And I was like, I never made anything with a head wrap. So
Mm-hmm.
I was like, let me put that in there. And that necklace, and I almost tagged her. My friend, she bought that in Germany, and she said, you like to wear big necklaces. And I think she came home stateside and brought it back. This is actually the first time I've actually worn that necklace. And I think she gave it to me like 2 years ago. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
it just ties perfectly in with the outfit. And yeah, just queen
It,
on her.
it worked out
Girl,
well, you would say.
that happened to be a tree.
Excellent. I think that was, that as far as photo shoot wise, do you remember? Yeah, hell, we just did it a couple of days ago. All the little things that we tried to do to make that photo work. We going through that little trail, and initially we did the stand up and everything, and then we walked for a little bit, and then I just saw something on the left. I'm like, ooh, that will look good. So we had you sit down, and then had you do the shots and all that different stuff, and freaking bugs was tearing my ass up, but hey, it's all good because we made it happen, right?
We did.
Tell them about the little bit of the struggle that was going on during that shoot, though.
Are we talking about the giraffe?
No,
Wait,
not the giraffe and the elephant. We're talking about the hair. Let's talk about the hair for a little bit.
You said my hair?
Yeah, let's talk about
Otis, I ain't expecting you to bring that up.
Come on, we're gonna put it out there. Let's be real
funny,
with that.
It was funny. So I actually started getting ready for that shoot like way in advance. So I want to say about 3 hours prior to, right? Because I was like, it has to be perfect. It has to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So I already figured out what I was going to do with makeup. I already had the hair. I mean, the what I was going to wear.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, let me do my makeup. That was the longest time I ever took to do makeup. Long.
Okay.
So hour and a half, right? So I do that. I iron the outfit, take it off the mannequin I have. I iron it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, what am I doing with my hair? Right? So I go in the closet and I pull out this mohawk kind of look, right? And I remember...
It looked good. Let's bring it back up again. So
it was numerous times I had put that mohawk on and it just did not work at all. So then I go ahead and was like, this is going to have to work today because Otis don't like people to be late. And I don't want to be late. I kept thinking about that. I was like, oh no, I can't be late because it's Otis. So I go get this hair and I put it on, and it has a comb in the front. It has 2 combs here and a comb in the back. So I go to tie this on, and this is like my 3rd attempt. In that picture, that was actually number 3 of getting it right. And I tie it on, and I tie it tight so it can kind of, hold everything down.
Yeah.
So while Otis was doing the shoot, the comb in the front, I guess I tied the knot on top of that comb, and it was digging into my head. Woo! And I was like, I'm about to be sick. I'm not going to make it. And I was like, oh my gosh, but I don't want to cut this photo shoot in half. I was like, and I kept saying in my mind, pain is beauty. Pain is beauty, right? And then I think we got to like the last set, and I was like, oh my gosh. I said, no, Otis, we need to stop. We got to stop. And I was like, okay, we done. And then once we went back to the car, I was like, Otis, I'll be right back. And he looked at me, and I was like, I got to go to the car. I got to take this thing off my head. So I got in that car, and I took it off, and I put my wrap back on, and I was like, Yeah, Otis, you're gonna see the set it off braids today.
Man, ain't no shame in it. Ain't no shame in it. I want you to
We,
have no shame in that, man.
yeah. So
Like
we
for
made
real.
it happen, but that thing, ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna ever do that again.
Hey, can you tell me what was the date, time, or so that we did the shoot in Germany? I'd like to pull up some of those photos that we did. Tell me, do you remember the date?
Ooh, no.
Was it
I just
when I
remember it
just
was in
got there?
Ramstein.
Was it when I just got there to Ramstein?
I don't know. You know what? Okay, I can tell you because I remember I was posting pictures on my Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And I took my daughter for her graduation. The family went to Paris. And that's
Mm-hmm.
when you was like, hey, can you do, a photo shoot or whatever? And I was like, okay, cool. When I get back, I'm in Paris right now. So it happened to be June of 2018, my daughter graduated.
Was it June of 2018? Okay, so
27. Was it 20? Yes, it was 2018.
2018. So let me
Yeah.
hop on the
So
the memory stick real
it
fast.
had to be like June of 2018, if my memory serves me right.
Oh, it's all good. So as far as you working and your first sergeant, and does your unit or anything like that, do they have any role as far as the response to COVID-19 that you can share at least with us?
A bit like my cousin from New York keep calling me, and I'm from Carolina. So if you're listening, just tune into this. This is her third time, Michelle. It's a third time,
It's
right?
all good. It's all good.
Um,
These things happen.
my fam, they love me. So, um, well, I am the first arm for HAC for MedCom. So
Hmm.
the medical um, community is doing big things, and I love being medical. I
Hmm.
love it because everybody talk about if you wasn't combat arms, you wasn't nothing. And I've
Hmm.
heard that so many times. And I'm like, do you know what we do? We're amazing in the medical field, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
You get sick, you get hurt. The first place you go is where?
To the doc.
Medical. You go medical. And
You
even though
come.
I'm a lab tech, a lot of lab techs like we tell the docs what's wrong with you. We go in the back, we test it, and we tell
Hmm.
them what's wrong with you so they know which route to take. So I gotta talk about lab techs because lab techs are awesome. But and that's who's on part of the front lines of testing for COVID is the lab techs
Hmm.
right now. They are
Hmm.
pushing out results a little quicker and getting testing done a little quicker so people can get healed and we have recovery. The medical field is awesome. MedCom is doing awesome with pushing soldiers, if it's to New York, to the Jacob Javits Center to help out, or
Hmm.
soldiers to Washington State. Like the medical field is amazing.
It
Yes,
is
and they're
amazing.
trying to find, and you got the research facility up in Maryland. Like
Hmm.
we gonna get a hold of this. We are.
I think we will. I think we're doing a whole lot of really good work as far as the medical field, the army, the multiple services, and everything
Yes.
like that. Where the military, we're at the forefront of medical technology. A lot of the
Yes.
things that we're using today is based on what they practiced in the combat field. So let's give ourselves a little bit of credit. Let's give ourselves some props, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Absolutely. So let's jump back into fashion again.
Let's get it.
I've got some more pictures from prior photo shoots, and I want you to talk to us about what we see. And yeah, just talk to us about what we see. I'm going to upload this picture right now, and you just talk to us about what we see right here and what was your inspiration behind it, etc. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Here we go. Remember that
I love
shoot?
that skirt.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's so weird is it wasn't no inspiration behind that. So
Okay.
I just had it as a regular pencil skirt, and I think it was my first time testing how to do a pencil skirt. And
Mm-hmm.
I did that, and I was like, this thing looks so regular. Like, what can I do to make it stand out?
Mm-hmm.
Besides the design in the middle, which I love, I was like, how can I make this skirt? Like, if you turn your head and say, oh, it's just a pencil skirt, but you like, that is the best pencil skirt I've ever seen. I was like, let me add some tulle around the bottom. So I think it's like 10 to 12 layers of tulle all the way around, which took a lot of time. But it made that skirt so much more better. And I kept altering it to where it fits every curve for that photo shoot. And yeah, it was a little hard to breathe, but I was like, for the photo shoot, we're gonna make sure this thing fits perfectly.
Make it happen.
But of course, when I make stuff that I'm gonna walk in and be out and walking in public, I don't make it like that. I actually give myself a little breathing room. And yeah. I love it.
I remember that shoot. Do you remember the weather on that shoot?
It was nice, but I remember mosquito.
Yes.
I do remember mosquitoes.
Yes. They were tearing our tails up. You know, Germany got a lot of mosquitoes. If y'all, think it's a joke, it's there. Oh, here's another mosquito remembrance photo right here. This is the second one. Boom.
That's when the mosquitoes got me. Really. I remember that. They was getting my shoulders. See, you don't have the bottom of those. They're bell bottoms.
I think I do. Hold on. Let me grab a hold of it. I'll pull it up for you. Let me okay, let's see if can I share screen? Let me see if I could share screen with this app here. So you could just see what I got going on. Share screen.
I'm just gonna drink some water.
Hold on. You just share the screen. Right? And share the entire screen. And I'll pull up here. Let's go back into this app thing. And bam, do you see my screen?
I can't.
Ah.
But if you have the pants up, I'm about to talk like you have them up, Otis.
Hold on. Let me just export the picture and I'll come back to you and I will, okay. Oh, it's asking, it says
those
Chrome.
Was sold so quick. They were gone. As soon as you sent me those pictures and I posted it, was I want those pants.
Here's the picture. Give me a second. 1, 2, 3. Here it is, right there.
There you go.
There it is.
So I am not a huge fan of bell bottoms, but one thing I have to do is take myself outside of my norm at times. And I surprise myself when I take myself out of that norm. And I don't like bell bottoms at all. But I was like, let me try these. And actually a client asked me for a pair of bell bottoms. And it was like the connection between us, like she was, I think at that time deployed, I want to say, and made the pants. And sometimes I have so much stuff in my house that I made just testing stuff out, and I got to get rid of it because I have too much. So, she was deployed. It kind of didn't work out. So I was like, I have these pants. Otis asked for a photo shoot. I don't like bell bottoms, but I'm loving these colors. And that's what kind of inspired those pants. And I was like, that fabric I had around my head was like scraps. So I was like, let me take these scraps. And
just made it happen.
That shirt I actually bought in Luxembourg. So I mostly make the bottom of my bottoms. That's it. I kind of don't deal with the top because you can find I think the bottom, when I make skirts, pants, or anything, it pretty much is a statement maker and it says a lot by itself. So a shirt, you don't even have to go overboard. I do with all my bottoms the most plainest shirts you'll see me in. It's just be a plain white shirt. I might tie it up, or it barely have designs on it or anything when I'm wearing that one. So yeah, so my inspiration was a client asking for it. And that's what inspired me to do bell bottoms, because I'm not a bell bottoms type of person. But that picture's like, I want to make some more. Now
It absolutely worked out, I would say. What'd you think? It did? So
it did. I love it.
So we were lucky enough to let me take this picture off real fast. So we were lucky enough to not only just do two random photo shoots, but we actually had the time to actually go out and do an actual photo shoot when I just got back, I believe,
Yeah.
from Germany. And I am currently, what am I doing? I am currently going to pull up some of those photos so that the world could see the talent that I know here. So here we go. And I'll upload it right now. And tell
I
us a
love
little.
that photo shoot. That was
Tell,
dope.
yes, it was. That was in July of last year. So
Dope.
tell the world about your inspiration with this photo right here.
Mm. Yeah. So y'all always tell me to smile in my photos, and I never smile.
Mhm.
I'm in my mind, I'm giving you the fierce, don't mess with me look.
Hmm.
But the inspiration behind that, like the colors, and I wanted like a dress that just was huge at the
Hmm.
bottom. That was
Hmm.
my plan. And what's crazy is the top of that dress had a whole nother design. So when you and I decided to do that shoot, I actually took the original top off of that dress and replaced it and did it over. So I
Mm.
don't know if I ever told you that.
No, I don't think you have.
I haven't. So the original design was I actually took, if you see some of the snake pattern, like look in the middle and you see that teal snake pattern at the top. So I
Hmm.
actually cut around that, right, and had just one scale.
Hmm.
And I had this side of the dress originally all sheer and the back was sheer.
Mm.
And this, the what you see on one of the sides, that okay, it had all the fabric, but I had a sheer going this way. So I cut off some of the scales and I actually was like sewing it on. So it's like a pasty effect.
I
Now
got you.
I wasn't gonna wear it. It looked good on the mannequin,
Hmm.
but it was nice. And I put that all here and you just had it was so it looked like just your regular body with the scales on it.
Mm.
So, and I was just trying to do something different. I'm always trying to do something different. I find myself if I'm doing the same design over and over, or I'm doing the same thing over and over, it gets boring to me. And I said, once this
So,
starts feeling like a job, I don't want to do this no
mhm,
more. So that's why I try to always do something different.
I
So
got you.
when I did the scales, um, and it was never, I was never going to wear it. Never.
Hmm.
It was just the fact of could I make it or can I do something different? And then you were like, "Hey, let's do a video." And I was like, "I don't have anything."
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, "I don't have anything made." And I happened
Hmm.
to walk. I was walking from out of my room to go downstairs, and I looked, and I was like, "I got that dress." So get that dress, and I was like, "But I cannot wear that top." So
Hmm.
I took the top off, and I think you and I was actually going out of town on a flight, and I came back in. We were due to the shoot the
Hmm.
next weekend, and I came
Hmm.
back on a Monday. So I want to say like Tuesday, Wednesday. Nope, it was like Wednesday, Thursday. I took the top off and redid the whole top of the dress. Yes,
So, we only, obviously we see the top. So let's look at the full bottom. You want to see that?
yeah. Let's see
Let's
it.
talk about it right here.
Woo-hoo.
There it is. Oh,
So
we got we got a whole lot of comments. Ooh, my bad. I got we'll talk about the comments after. Go ahead. Go ahead. Talk about it.
So I actually wanted that bottom to be so much bigger than what it is. I wanted
Hmm.
that thing to just take over. And I wanted the front, it actually be closed in the front also. What I've noticed though, when I do something like that, you trip over it. So I was
Hmm.
like, how can I do this photo shoot and not be tripping over this dress? And that's what made me take that look, LaDonna said an awesome time we had. We
Hmm.
did. I loved it. And what I did was, okay, so I won't trip and this dress kind of go behind me or to the side of me. And that's what made me took the long slit. And I was like, why not make it sexy? Let's do this long slit. Let's
Hmm.
do it and let's own it. And I actually wanted it to be a little bit more dramatic. But without time constraints and everything, I kind of just left it as is because I had to still change the top and the bottom. So, but other than that, yeah, that dress I loved. It hugged curves. It lets you know, hey. And I remember being out there, and people would just stop to watch us as we were shooting. Just the colors was just, yeah, against the melanin. Just, yeah, I can't say it.
Oh, I got another picture from that shoot. You want to see it?
Let's see.
There it is. There it is with
Z.
Zaire. With Zaire.
Yes, with Z. So, Otis paired me with a real model. You calling me a model? When I say a real model, so I'm like watching her and trying to see, like, and she knows this because I told her and I thanked her. I was like, I was watching her so I could see how she move and what to do, because sometimes I can get very stiff and like I don't know what to do with my hands, like I'm not smiling, and it came so natural with Z. And Otis was like, I want to pair you with a model. And I'm like, okay, got it. So the dress that I actually have on was actually going to be Z dress, actually. So Z didn't come to my house until Tuesday to get fitted. And I was like, okay, I've never met Z or anything. We were just in a group chat that Otis put us in. So I was like, okay, well, let me, she comes to my house. And I was like, Z can't wear his dress. Z got legs. We need to show Z legs. So Tuesday, Wednesday, I did the whole dress on Tuesday, Wednesday. And I worked on mine and finished mine Wednesday, Thursday, and a little bit on Friday when I finished mine and changed the top. But like Z rocked that dress. And then she has a fascinator that's kind of sitting right here with the neck going over her eye. Z rocked it. And she was like, what you want me to, like, what shoes or whatever? And I was like, I trust you. I trust you. And usually I don't say that. And Z rocked it. Like, I loved it.
She absolutely did. She absolutely did. Hey, shout out to Zaire. Shout out to her. She is, really talented, beautiful model, and everything like that.
Beautiful spirit too.
Yes. Very kind, very happy, very joyful. I like her. She's a very good person. So, first Sergeant, or should I say Antoinette? Tell me now, what do you see moving forward with Francois Collections? What do you see yourself moving forward with that?
So I do limit it a lot. I limit Francois Collections a lot. Because like I said, number one, what I am is a soldier.
It's a soldier first.
I am a soldier first, right? And people were like, you're crazy, all this talent, soldier first. I let it go. No, I'm not letting it go. Number one, right? My number one passion, I love teaching, coaching, and mentoring. I love it. Like I could sit there and talk to people all day about leadership and what I didn't get and what I desired and what could have made me better at that point of my career. And at what point in my career did I need that role model? In which the answer is immediately, right? And it took me a long time. I want to say a couple of duty stations before I found somebody I wanted to actually emulate. And most of my mentors were males. I didn't have females to emulate. Like, so the way I walk, the way I talk, everything, I stayed very feminine my whole career. I never changed that because I love being a woman.
Good.
Yeah, I never changed that. But at the same time, most of my mentors were males. And that's all I knew how to do and how to be in the military. And then, I came across a female that I finally wanted to emulate. And I was like, okay, so you can still be that woman that happened to be, no, you're a soldier that happened to be a woman, and still look like a woman, right? So I love that part, and I think that's gonna be a hard part for me to let go of the military and leading and being that I try every day to be that example that I looked for. So that's how I try to walk and talk. So, but on the clothing side of the house, I limit it a lot. People ask me to do certain things. Like I was asked to do last year, the parade for the opening of Paris Fashion Week. And it happened to be 6 weeks before they wanted me there in Paris, and I was like, and they wanted a whole collection. And I was like, oh, what's a whole collection? That's how, ignorant I am. I try to learn, but like I said, I stay kind of on the military side and I learn the fashion side slowly. And they was like 10 or 12 pieces. And I was like, in 6 weeks? I was like, I'm not going there with substandard stuff. Like, not at all. Like, I want y'all to be like, who is she? Oh, I don't know who she is, but I know what she can do. And that 6 weeks wasn't going to do that. And plus, I was going on a trip. We were going on our girls' trip, and I was like, "It's no way I can get it." So I turned it down because of that, and I knew I was going to give my best. So there's sometimes I limited myself on it, but I want to say by retirement, I can see myself going full blown with it, and I actually want to open up a boutique.
2025.
Well, as I deep swallow, I have, as of June, when June come, I hit my 16 and I have 4 years left. So you gave me an extra year. So I'll take that extra year. I might do to 2026 too. But you know what? I tell people, it's whatever the Lord have in store for me. So in my mind, I can say I'm getting out in 20 years, and the Lord be like, that's what you think. So, it's wherever the Lord guides me at that time.
There you go. Okay. Well, Antoinette, I think you're a star in the make. Well, not even in the making. You're already a star. I think, if you keep going with where you're going, keep doing what you're doing, be kind, be that person that you are, I think you're going to kick ass in the fashion industry. Wow. Absolutely.
Thank you.
So I wanted to bring you on here so that people could see the talent that I see. Go ahead and share what you got going on as far as your links and sites. They already got that through my page, and let the people know what you got going on.
Well, you can find me on Instagram and it's called Francois Collections on Instagram, and on Facebook it's called Creative Imperfections. And can I tell them the reason behind? Because somebody asked me, what is it, Creative Imperfections or Francois Collections? And I've been asked that. So with Creative Imperfections, me and my friend Chanel, we actually started, and Chanel probably watching. Hi, Chanel Johnson. We started that in Germany, and it was like an umbrella. So I actually started off with like table decor. That's what I was doing. I was crafting, doing table decor. And they kind of hyped me up. Was like, you can sell some of your skirts. I was like, no, these might fall apart on people. I don't know how these things wear. No. And I had just started, right? And Chanel was like, I think you can do it. She was like, we're going to put it on there. She starts the page up. And she happened to start it on my birthday. So the anniversary of Francois Collections is the same, and Creative Imperfections is the same date as my birthday. So we do Creative Imperfections, but it was like for the table decor. And when I went to this craft show that they talked me into doing, I had all the stuff that I craft and put together, glasses and table decor. And I happened to be wearing one of the skirts I made. And I'm trying to sell the stuff on the table. Nobody wanted the stuff on the table. The only person that bought table decor was Chanel. And everybody else was asking me about the skirt I had on. And I was like, this skirt? Yeah, who made that? And one lady was like, I want 4. And I was like, I don't even know where to get fabric from over here in Germany. So I wound up taking on a challenge and made her, she actually got 2 skirts, and I made her 2 skirts. So that's where the Creative Imperfections was the craft, the table, and all of that, the dinnerware. And it turned into Francois Collections. So the clothing is the Francois Collections. So that's, and you can find me on Facebook. If you put in Creative Imperfections or Francois Collections, you should be able to find it.
You see on the bottom of our thing, I got a little ticker thing going on. Yeah, we're being fancy. We're being fancy. Okay. Well, hey, thank you. But hey, I wanted to give you the opportunity to come in my little bit of a platform that I got, so you could talk to the people, tell them what you're all about, so I could highlight this person that I know. And, I want to say thank you for coming out. And, we've got, going to give you the opportunity if you want to come in the future to, check out what we've got going on. I'd really appreciate it.
I would love to. And can I leave people with this one thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, and especially to my military folks my military folks.
Mm-hmm.
So we get to the end of our career, and I always tell people, I know how to be Sergeant Francois, Specialist Francois, Staff Sergeant, Sergeant First Class, Master Sergeant, First Sergeant. And I know exactly who that person is, and I know exactly who that soldier is. But I didn't know who Antoinette was. I had no clue. And I just remember every time I sat on a board and they'd be like, what's your hobby? I'd be like, watching TV, being a mother. Like I had no hobby, none. So it was nothing that I came home to that brought me back to my center of gravity, my balance. I didn't have that for a year. And I had surgery on my spine while I was in Germany, my first year, going into my second year in Germany. And I remember at that time, the Sergeant Major of the Army said, if you were on profile, you would not get into leadership positions. And at that time, they wanted to give me a profile for no running and no sit-ups. And I was like, what am I about to be doing? So I focused on getting myself well enough. But at the same time, I faced something. And at that time, I was 10 years in. And I faced where it was a possibility I was getting out the military because I wasn't going to advance because my doctor wants to give me a permanent profile. And the Sergeant Major of the Army said, we won't be in leadership positions. And if I'm 10 years in and I'm not taking on no leadership positions, guess what's next? The Army going to say,
call it a day. Call it a day.
And
yep.
I was lost for, I want to say 6 to 8 months, not knowing who I was. I only knew the soldier. I didn't know who Antoinette was. So I took those 6, 8 months and I kind of cut people out of my life, not on a bad way, but it was just the time I had to take for myself to figure out who I was. And I did that. And once I changed my degree plan from social psychology to business admin, and I started sewing. I never knew I could sew like this, never knew it. But I had to take that time to figure out who I was and who Antoinette was. And then I want to say at that point, I wasn't ready for a transition out the military because I did not set myself up and I only knew how to be a soldier. So once I found her, I embraced her. I loved her. And I always every day say, how can I make Antoinette better? Because I always every day strive to be a better soldier all day, every day. But it was like Antoinette, I make sure now Antoinette is not lost under the First Sergeant Francois. I make sure that they are side by side. Now, sometimes I got to tuck Antoinette away sometimes, right? But I had to make sure that if I know who First Sergeant Francois is, I need to know who Antoinette is. And once I feel like one of them are getting lost, I got to come back and make sure they're balanced. So I just tell people, don't wait till it's time for you to walk out the United States Army, the Air Force, the Marines, the Navy, Coast Guard. Don't wait until your 20 years is up. Figure out who you are so you won't find yourself stuck at the end of your career trying to figure out who you are. Find that out along the way, and it will save a whole heap, because I do see a lot of my peers and a lot of my battle buddies struggle with that once they transition out. So I would say find it before you go. But don't forget that you got soldiers watching and depending on you, because I see some people do shift to find out who they are and others suffer. I've seen that also. But I would say if you find that balance and you don't lose you, and that's what I had to make sure that I lost her before. I found her, and I'm not going to lose her again.
There you go.
So I just wanted to leave people with that.
Antoinette, thank you. Yeah. Thank you. This has been wonderful.
No problem.
All right, you take it easy now. All right now.
Bye.
Bye-bye. So we had another one, Antoinette. She was wonderful in her discussion with us. She's a well-rounded person, and get a chance to learn more about what we've got going on here at on my page, Otis Toussaint. If you ever have an opportunity that you want to get on here and get interviewed yourself, let me know. I'll absolutely work with you. And until then, as I always say, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and take care of others. You all take it easy.